Hello and welcome to our channel. Imagine the smell of fresh bread baking in clay ovens, the sound of temple chants echoing over the Nile, and the sight of farmers, artisans and merchants setting out to work. Today, we're uncovering the real lives of ordinary people in ancient Egypt, their daily routines, beliefs and joys. From sunup to sundown, let's step into their sandals and see Egypt as they saw it. The day begins early, not with coffee, but with the first rays of the sun. Egyptians paid special attention to cleanliness, bathing daily in the Nile or with water they carried from it. They used fragrant oils to keep cool and protect their skin from the sun, and both men and women lined their eyes with kohl, not just for beauty, but to protect against eye infections. Even the children participated in these routines. Everyone in the family had a role to play. Families were the core of Egyptian society, with homes often shared by extended family. Parents taught children basic skills, while older siblings helped with household chores or in family businesses. As they prepared their morning meal, families gave thanks to their household deities. Unlike the monumental temples, these shrines were humble yet sacred, honoring gods like Bes, the protector of homes and children. Egypt's economy was powered by the labor of its people. Farmers were essential, working on lands granted to them by pharaohs or wealthy landlords. They planted crops like wheat and barley and raised animals, ensuring there was enough food for all. Farmers' lives revolved around the Nile's flooding cycle, a force they revered and feared. Floods brought fertility, but too much water could ruin a year's work. In the cities, artisans and craftsmen labored in workshops. Carpenters, stonemasons, and jewelers were in high demand, creating goods that adorned temples and palaces. Some craftsmen were even employed in royal workshops to produce luxury goods for the elite. The most educated of all were the scribes, responsible for record-keeping, tax collection, and managing supplies. Scribes enjoyed a privileged position and were trained from a young age in reading and writing, setting them apart as Egypt's educated class. And let's not forget the builders and laborers who toiled on the massive monuments of Egypt. Contrary to popular belief, the pyramids were likely not built by slaves but by a workforce of skilled laborers and volunteers, who were honored for their work and even given bread and bare rations for their labor. For Egyptians, food was not just sustenance, it was a way to connect. Bread, the centerpiece of every meal, was often baked with honey, figs, or dates, while clay ovens were used to prepare savory stews and roast meats when available. Most meals included vegetables, beans, and pulses, as meat was reserved for wealthier families or special occasions. Fish from the Nile provided a crucial protein source, and many families grew their own herbs for seasoning. Beer, a drink made from wheat or barley, was a staple at every table, enjoyed by men, women, and even children. Beer in ancient Egypt usually was not strong, ranging between 2 to 4%. When possible, the well-off Egyptians savored delicacies like roast duck or goose, but for most, sharing a simple meal with family was a daily joy. Even in ancient times, people needed fun and relaxation. Children played with handmade toys like dolls, miniature animals, and spinning tops. Some of the oldest board games in history come from Egypt, including Senet, a game of strategy and luck that symbolized the journey through life and the afterlife. Adults enjoyed music and storytelling. Flutes, harps, and tambourines were popular, and some evenings, families gathered to hear the latest stories or catch up on news from neighboring villages. Social life was a key part of Egyptian culture. Festivals and feasts were common, with people celebrating events like the annual flooding of the Nile or the festival of Opet, which honored the god Amun. Ancient Egyptians placed a great emphasis on health, but without modern medicine, they relied on herbal remedies and magic spells. Healers, known as Sunu, were trained in using herbs like coriander and garlic to treat common ailments, while spells and amulets protected against illnesses and misfortunes. Superstitions ran deep in Egyptian culture. Amulets shaped like the Eye of Horus, symbolizing protection, or scarab beetles, believed to bring rebirth and good fortune, were worn daily. People lived with an awareness of invisible forces, good and bad, believing that through prayer and ritual, they could protect their families and themselves from harm. With the setting sun, the workday ended, and families gathered under the stars. Egyptians had a deep awareness of the afterlife, a belief that motivated their hard work and piety. People believed that every good deed, every small kindness, would be weighed in the afterlife. This wasn't just reserved for royalty or the elite. Every Egyptian hoped for a peaceful afterlife, where they would be reunited with loved ones. Priests would often perform nightly rituals, lighting incense and reciting prayers that echoed through the quiet streets. For the ancient Egyptians, the journey of life was intertwined with the mysteries of death and rebirth, making each day one to be lived fully and mindfully. Though centuries have passed, the legacy of ordinary Egyptians remains. Their values of hard work, respect for family, and devotion to their gods offer us a glimpse into what it means to live with purpose. The pyramids may stand as their grandest legacy, but it is the lives of everyday people that built the foundation of ancient Egypt. Through their daily choices, they created a civilization whose memory endures across the ages. Thank you for joining us on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed learning about daily life in ancient Egypt, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more historical explorations. What video about ancient Egypt you would like to see next? Let us know in the comments. Until our next adventure, may we live each day as the Egyptians did, with purpose and gratitude. Thank you and bye for now.